Den of Thieves is one of the first action movies to come out this year, starring Gerard Butler, and I wasn't really looking forward to this movie. I mean, I didn't mind that it was coming out, I just thought it had like a really cool trailer with Kendrick Lamar. But just for curiosity's sake, I actually saw it tonight, and from what I saw, it was actually pretty fine. It was pretty decent. A lot of the reviews are saying that it's very similar to the movie Heat. I unfortunately have not seen the movie Heat yet. I want to because I like Michael Mann's work. But a lot of people are saying that it's very similar to that movie because Heat involves bank robbers. So I'm going to be reviewing this film by itself, which I feel as though a lot of films should be reviewed as, unless it is a total ripoff or copy of an original movie. I don't know if that's the case for this movie and Heat. Comment down below if that's true or not, but I'm just going to be reviewing it by itself. That's pretty fair. So Den of Thieves is about this LA police department who has this elite force of people who are investigating these bank robbers. They're really good at what they do, and they're known for robbing these really high-tech banks. They're very well known throughout this police department, and this elite force is trying to figure out a way to infiltrate them and find out the next bank that they're going to be busting. The movie by itself is actually really well made. I was very surprised. Like, the first shot is a really good establishing shot, and everything after that point has really good cinematography. Even the sound design is really good. The sound of bullets hitting cars and walls is really realistic. It isn't just like your typical gun sound effect that you would hear in a movie. It actually feels like they did some tests with some guns. They shot some guns for sound effects like outside, like in a desert. The sound design is just really good. And the movie, like I said, looks really well done as well. A lot of these action movies nowadays kind of have like that shaky cam kind of feel, but with this movie, I didn't get nauseous, or I don't really get nauseous, but I didn't feel like anyone who would get nauseous from this film. It was filmed very well. So the film from a physical perspective is actually really well done. And the pacing's actually really good too. There's just enough in each scene to keep you invested, even though you don't really get that well connected with the characters. There is enough happening here for you to watch this as a film. This is kind of the first movie that I'm reviewing with Gerard Butler in it. I have seen other Gerard Butler films, and I've always kind of respected him as an actor. I've respected him as just a guy who does movies to get his next paycheck. He's not in a lot of well-established movies except for voice acting and How to Train Your Dragon, and I've just kind of respected him as an actor. I don't necessarily like his films, but his performance in this was actually really good as well. I actually felt like he was trying to stand out from his other performances. He plays a really bad, corrupt cop. They do things in this movie that a lot of people would get upset over. There is a lot of corrupt police work and just not doing things by the book. And he is kind of the definition of this elite force doing those things. They hire strippers, they tase people. It's just very dirty police work, and you kind of see that throughout his performance. He is a character. He's dealing with a lot of family issues, like he's going through a divorce, he can't see his daughters, so it was cool to see that human level of him. You can tell that the film is trying to make you care for him as a human being, but you're not really sure if you should because he's doing all this like dirty police work. So I don't know, it just felt kind of unbalanced for me. Another problem that I have with this film is I don't feel like we got enough time with the bank robbers. There are a couple scenes in this film where they try to establish that the bank robbers are like a family. They work side to side together and they hang out outside of bank robbery. There's actually one scene that I really like where 50 Cent's character is trying to intimidate his daughter's prom date by bringing all of his gang members in the same garage and just intimidating the shit out of this like high school boy. I really like that scene, but that's kind of like the only scene that we get. I really wanted more scenes like that where we see these bank robbers just hanging out and doing stuff. The movie is just really focused on them planning out this heist and robbing this bank, and it's done really well, but I wish we as an audience would have got to know them as human beings. We get to know about Gerard Butler's character, who's kind of the shittiest person of the movie, but we don't get to see the characterization of these guys and how they're affected when they start killing cops in the beginning of the movie. I don't really think that this film has an understanding of what its characters are. You can see that kind of in the poster. The poster is really half and half. Usually on a poster, it's signified who are the main characters by making the people bigger and kind of making everyone who isn't a main character in like the background or smaller. In this, it's pretty equal. I don't think the film had like an understanding of who they wanted to focus on. And that's fine. movies can do that. There's proof that movies can do that, Captain America Civil War, but it just felt really unbalanced to me. And there's also scenes in the film where Gerard Butler actually meets up with these bank robbers in public to try and intimidate them. And those scenes are really investing and entertaining because you kind of want to see what happens between them in public. I think it's one of the most memorable scenes throughout the movie, but you kind of are left wondering how exactly he knows where these guys are. How did he know they were at a Chinese restaurant? How did he know that they were at a gun range? It's just like, how much surveillance does this guy have, really? But overall, guys, I liked this. I digged it. As a film, I really digged it a lot. I was very invested in it. There wasn't a dull scene throughout this film. And I just wish that there was just more character to these bank robbers. There's a lot of character for Gerard Butler, but you don't really get to see any other characterization from the bank robbers and even from the members of the elite team from the police department. I wish we would have just seen some characters stand out. I really liked Ice Cube's son in this film. I thought he was a really cool guy, and how he's just kind of like in between all this. He gets interrogated by this elite force, and that's really only it. Ice Cube's son and Gerard Butler are the only people that stand out. I just wish that we would have seen more from the other characters. But if you're bored and you're wanting an action film, this is actually really good. I don't know how similar this is to Heat. I'm going to have to check out Heat. A lot of people are saying that it's very similar to Heat. But from a guy who saw this film just by itself and isn't really comparing it to anything else, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good January action movie. So yes, guys, that was my review of Den of Thieves. Comment down below what you thought of this film if you've seen it yet. Like the video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.